Oh my, oh my, oh my, it's time to duck and cover. No, I'm sorry. That's not what the siren means. The siren means no, don't duck and cover because you'll miss the show unless you take the Wild and Weird Radio into the bunker with you. Then you won't miss the show. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do. So remember, kids, when you hear the air raid siren, grab the radio, the Wild and Weird one, and take it into the bunker with you. Okay. Anyway,
for eons and eons to come.
Absolutely.
Because apparently people are still doing that because we breached 100,000 downloads on the audio only section.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And we're going to get into that toward the middle of this show because it still blows my mind. And I am going to cut this up a little bit for you guys. And so all you people out there in Wild and Weird Radio land are actually going to hear this. So welcome, friends. A long time no see.
And just so you know, we are planning the comeback. It's time. We've got flexibility back in our schedules and lives again. And you will be hearing from us more frequently, we promise.
Oh, there's a lot. We'll be talking a little bit about that kind of stuff tonight. Joe, get everybody welcomed in. I am Ron. That is Joe over there. We are your host of the Wild and Weird Radio Live, and you are our wild weirdos and weirdettes, and let's hear them.
Well, we've got Uber, who was the first one in the chat. What's going on? Happy Wild and Weird Thursday time. You better believe it. Spookfest is in the house. Linda Sigmund's in the house as well. Then we've got Dances with Orbs, as always. How you doing? We've got Beth out there at Wineberry. What's going on, Beth? Good to see you in there hanging out. Then we've got Tommy up there, Mid-Ohio Valley.
There's Tommy Swagger out there.
What's going on? Oh, man, you guys are already kicking it in. Kenny Hess, thank you. Thank you.
Keep them coming.
Welcome here in the house tonight, Angie, LR.
Angie.
Then we got Jordan Booker. Hey, you made it here again.
Jordan.
Good to see you, Jordan. Scott Holbrook's in the house. Congratulations and happy Thursday. We appreciate you, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terry McCullough. I think I got you earlier. Then, the WV Watcher Files. What's going on? Good to see you tonight. We're going to be in touch soon, by the way.
Very soon.
We got some good stuff planned out and can't wait to see you guys again. Vincent Ellison's in the house. What is going on, Vincent? Power Band, how's it going? Ada Cox is in the house. Uvaru at $2. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Very much appreciated. Wait till you see what this next round is going towards. Where
we do have a limit tonight. Oh, look at that. Ada's helping. We do have the limit tonight. What's it set at? 10, I believe,
right? The limit. We're over the limit. We're there.
No. I mean, the official goal is set. So
I can't see those. You're the only one that can see those.
That's on YouTube. Yeah, that's on YouTube. So we are setting at 5 out of 10, guys. 5 out of 10. 5 more to go, and we're going to unlock.
Oz in the Woods is in the house. Jen is here with us hanging out. LR Miller, thank you. You are awesome.
Very good.
Lady Wolf is in the house. Thank you for hanging out with us yet again. We're glad we've picked up a few of you guys from the old Land of Hell event. And you guys come hang out with us on Thursdays now. That's really cool. Terry McCullough, thank you, brother. You are something else, my man. Very much appreciated. The octopus is in the house. What is going on, octopus?
Welcome.
Rachel Green's hanging out tonight as well.
Rachel.
Jimothy over at Spooky Appalachia. Ada Cox. Oh, holy cow, Ada.
Look at all the owls. Look at all the owls.
I see all the owls. So many owls. Are they owls?
I don't think they're owls.
I don't think they're owls either.
That is an accurate representation, for those who don't know, of the actual collectible cover of Project Bluebeam NASA. If you know the story, that the book itself, that is I'm not making this up. That was a 3D representation of the cover. Am I not wrong?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, right?
Pretty
So,
much.
yeah.
Shade Viking, salut! Good to see you back with us, man. Long time no see. Thanks for dropping in. We appreciate you too.
I remember Shade. I remember.
Rachel Plower, what's going on? Good to see you as well. And then we've got Nancy. You are awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Adam Good, the executive producer, is in the house as well. What's going on, Adam? Good to see you hanging out tonight. And let's see who else we got. Oz. Thank you.
Oz is out there.
You are too good.
Multiple blessings, Oz. Now 4 away from the unlock.
Enzo's in the house. The realest man in the room. What's going on, Enzo? Good to see you, buddy. Is that Heimelfahr? Is that right? Heimelfahr?
Fear, right? Fear.
Heimelfahr. That means Sky Daddy, baby. Speaking of Sky Daddy.
That's great. That's absolutely great. You guys
are awesome. We appreciate y'all so much.
Wow.
Y'all keep the lights on and keep us rolling out in wild and weird land in more ways than you realize. So, Ron, tonight, the news. We've got everybody in the house.
Everybody's here. Everybody's here. We're gonna be talking a little bit about some updates on some things, and we'll be talking about some other stuff. But first of all, let's talk about what happened yesterday, Joe. And I don't mean the massive ice storm that Cobra Commander sent upon us with the weather dominator. I mean,
luckily it wasn't too gnarly, but the ice that formed because everybody went out and immediately salted. And then it refroze. That was pretty good.
It was bad.
That
was bad.
But yeah, so we got upgraded.
Yeah.
We got upgraded
because last week we were at 2.3%?
1% to 2.3%, which is a 1 in 45 roughly chance of getting a black eye from an asteroid.
Yeah, getting smacked, right? And they even said, here's the trajectory. Here's where it's going to, blah, blah, the whole thing, right?
Yep. And then the trajectory.
And then what happened yesterday, Joe?
We got upgraded to a 1 in 32 chance, which is a pretty sizable upgrade.
Yeah, it was a pretty sizable upgrade.
And I'm just gonna say this. What if they are going to upgrade it again, just to just to get us used to the idea. Then we're not going
Up
to hear
and
about
down,
it
up and
until
down,
like,
up and down.
and then we're going to get used to the idea because they probably really know that it's a much greater risk, and they're just getting us used to the idea softly. And then, like, a year out, they're gonna be like, all right, guys, this thing, there's like a 1 in 1 chance or 1 in 2 chance we're gonna
Right.
take a black eye. Because the biggest talk yesterday was not so much the percentage of chance that it was going to hit us, but like, well, if this thing hits us straight on, it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a set of grays, it could
Mhm.
just explode in the atmosphere. If it
Mhm.
comes in at an angle, that wouldn't be too bad. We really want it to come in at an angle, but if it
Right.
hits us head on, that's going to be pretty gnarly.
Right. And 6 hours later,
Asteroids' chances of hitting Earth keep shifting, and here's what's happening. It went down, guys. They're now saying that it is now a 1.5 chance again. So I'm telling you, this is what makes me think we're going to get that up and down teeter totter. And I'm going to take it a step further into speculation land, and I'm going to say, if this thing strikes the ocean, that it's going to cause a shift in our research and understanding of things and the way we observe our oceans, and we're going to start looking deeper. We're going to start looking, and we might find something. The odds of asteroid WIRE 2024 hitting Earth in 2032 go up and then down again in the latest NASA analysis. This was, last night, late last night.
this was literally, yeah. Yeah, this is all really breaking news.
And
then
it just kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. Personally, I'm Team Big Rock.
So, if you'll notice what they keep saying here, chances of the asteroid, blah, blah, updates the asteroid impact probability to 3.1, the highest ever recorded for an object of this size. However, according to NASA, subsequent data collected overnight reduced the probability to a 1.5% as of February 19th, 2025. Yeah, it just keeps changing, as you can see. So now we're down. But it's funny because that only happened literally after that whole news drop yesterday. But my hero is on the scene, and that's all that matters.
Lou Elizondo
He has a
building
plan.
his all-out bunker.
He has a plan. That's all I can say. He is the hope for humanity. Anyway.
Yep. Oh, man.
Bless you, Lou. We're on your side.
Beth says, I will not make it a whole year winter, which could be that, like, if it hits directly, if it's a head-on strike, we're looking at a winter, a long winter.
It's going to get cold.
Media will be dispersed within the atmosphere.
Yeah, it will get cold. It will get kind of cold, kind of chilly.
Shade says, wow, thanks for the info. I never knew about this. It's pretty serious news. It really is.
Yeah.
We're at this like tipping point of, are they going to tell us? Are they not going to tell us? We could get smacked, but just to put it into perspective, this thing is big. It's not like Yucatan Peninsula big.
Yeah.
But it's big enough to affect the planet on a global scale for a pretty good amount of time. Like, if it strikes the angle or strikes at an angle and hits the water, they've actually projected what the typhoon would look like, and it wouldn't be as bad.
The tidal wave, you mean?
No, the tsunami.
Tsunami, yeah.
They've projected that the tsunami wouldn't be that bad. Like, it would be a tsunami, but it wouldn't be like bad.
Right.
But if this thing would come in at a direct course and just straight up punch us in the face, that's when you're going to get your worst impact. If it hits water, that's the dream. That's what you want. But if it hits land, it is a city destroyer.
I think that we have other issues. We don't know what it's made of. Okay, that's number one.
Another thing.
So we don't know if we're talking about a mid-air burst. If we're talking about a mid-air burst, we're talking about the equivalent of a nuke over a city. If it happens over a city, okay, that's pretty big. That's
Yeah.
a big hole in the
that would
ground.
wipe out a city. And but
That'd
if we're
wipe out a
talking
city.
about something that's metallic,
Oh,
like
yeah, that's a different story.
yeah,
that's a
if we're
that's a
talking about
different
something
story.
metallic, then we're dealing with something that is well,
And you
much
also have to take into fact, Joe, that we're also talking about something. Again, we don't know what this thing's made of. As it gets closer to Earth, for all we know, it could be starting to, it could fall apart in the atmosphere. It could become multiple impactors.
this is a metal one.
Is that a Socodaline?
No, it's a Campo.
Campo? Okay.
And it's if a metal one hits us, it's a pretty sizable cannonball.
It happens.
Face.
Yeah, it happens. And there's theories that it's happened, like we said before. Not that long ago. Not that long ago.
Oh yeah, it's theorized that that's what could have happened to the that group of people that made the point. Ron, what was their name?
Oh, you're talking about the Younger Dryas event. That was a monster, though. That was a that was bigger. That was bigger than a city killer. That was a monster.
Yeah, that was the big one. But it could have some serious implications on agriculture.
More local. Yeah.
Yep.
More local. So, in other news, there was some UFO stuff that took place. Imagine that. But let's go here first. Let's get the asteroid talk out of the way. Get your questions up on this, and let's get some answers.
Big rock.
And then we'll move on. And my hope, like I told Joe, is that joking aside, this would be a good lesson for humanity to have to actually learn how to deal with something like this. That's my whole take on it.
Harry does bring up probably the best question is, what if it cracks the moon and sends us into the Thundar the Barbarian?
Well, Terry, here's the thing. If you've been watching the show, you already know that we can affect reality, and possibly weaponizing reality is why some of this stuff is kept. So kind of be careful with that, because you never know. I mean, we could crack the moon just by thinking about it.
Yeah. Theoretically.
I mean, it's possible, right? Theoretically.
Sherry says, couldn't they just nuke it before it gets here? Hey, Elon, we need Doge with this SpaceX rocket.
We don't know what it is.
I wouldn't trust movies. We'll just say that.
We don't know what it is.
You would have to time that perfectly.
Yeah.
Like literally perfectly, and you have one shot.
Well, again, you don't know what this is. You go up there and you nuke it. Say you do that, all right? And you create,
a shotgun effect.
Bus size shotgun pellets, literally, okay?
Yeah.
Millions of them theoretically would just pound into the planet. And here's the thing, it may not be on the same exact trajectory. So you could set up a string of pearl effect that could last for days or months or years, where the planet just gets constantly bombarded, which is
driving to work one day. I'm like, here comes another one.
Yeah, exactly.
There was Kroger.
What was that? That was Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Remember when the moon got hit and the pieces, it was constant. Yep. It was like, meteor storm, like that's the kind of situation that you would be setting up. Yeah, literally. Something like that.
Oh man. Enzo says the current path has it slipping past Earth and then slipping past our moon. So both are in the target zone. Yeah. Yeah. Now, like if it hits our moon, like would we hear it ring?
Nah, probably not. It gets hit all the time, I think, pretty much, If it wasn't for the moon. We've talked about this. The heroes are Jupiter and our moon. Yep.
Apes strong together, throw big rocks at big rock.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh man.
Oh geez. So
maybe the asteroid doesn't know what we're made of. Maybe it should be quaking in its vacuum.
Oh, there you go. Or maybe it's not an asteroid.
Yeah, maybe it's an alien mothership.
I didn't say that.
Iran.
It's an Iranian mothership. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where the New Jersey drones went to.
From the planet Iran. not the country. That's where the country got its name. So, I mean, if other people can make stuff up, I mean, come on, at least ours is based in a pseudo reality at that point, right? So,
Right.
it's entertaining. No, seriously. But there was a report that came out, another UFO thing that's making the rounds. You might have seen it or not. I don't know. It was on News Nation. Apparently, there was a sighting. There was a near miss.
There was.
There was a near miss of
And this happened last year, and we actually covered it here on Wild and Weird Radio. But the information we had last year was pretty limited. All that we had last year was that it was a sea breeze.
Beechcraft.
Beechcraft. That's it. The Beechcraft airplane. And that's all the info we had. And now it comes out that this was actually a government aircraft, and it was allegedly able to track it air-to-air radar.
Yeah, it looks like they actually did track this thing. He says it was about the size of a football, flew underneath the wing. It was dark, and they reported it to the flight tower, and they were back and forth to the center. And then all of a sudden, this thing's like 60 miles out when they discovered it, which means that it's booking it. It's moving. It's really moving fast.
It's moving at Mach Jesus, guys.
Yep. Which I think Ben Hansen said was right about Mach 2. Just to let y'all know, there is a number for that now. But what's really interesting is one of the controllers comes on the air, and this is her quote. You read that.
All right. Now, this guy was stopped at 14 for him because we were busy. So there was some UFO, just casually. If you listen to it, it says just casually UFO reported here, but it's all taken care of now. So you don't have to worry about it unless you want to talk to Aaron.
Everybody go back to work. Go back to what you're doing.
UFO is taken care of.
Nothing to see here. Go on about your business. Move on. Just some UFO thing. Like it's every day. It probably is every day, to be honest. I mean, we don't know. Let's be real. So, I mean, sightings happen every day, right?
Yeah.
So why not? Speaking of sightings, I did have a sighting reported today. I wanted to bring that up to you guys. I'm going to post that actually over on our page to see if anybody else had seen anything like this. And the description literally is a visual representation of what we showed with the orange sphere that we saw. That was only visible, on
third generation night vision optics.
Yeah, third generation night vision. Let me find the report here. Just give me a second. This is literally in the mailbox. Here we go.
That's right. It was Uncle Troy. I can toss his football here over them there mountains.
That's it. But
there's nothing to see here because we are the men in black, and we are very good at our job, allegedly.
Yeah, that's it. Where did it go?
Right, nothing to see here, folks.
Here we go. It's loading. Let's see. We have a sighting report right here. Okay, so just the basic. I'm just going to give you the area where this took place. It was near St. Albans, West Virginia. The date was, let's see, the 12th. So it was just on the 12th. Time was around 6:30 p.m. It is an orb sighting or constitutes as an orb sighting. The witness saw this thing in the sky, saw an orange orb in the sky. And literally looks back up at this orb. Couldn't pull over to take a picture. Wanted to. Got around an area, around a tree type area, and where the orb should have been, it was gone. Described it as a very strange. It had a very red-orange glow to it. very bright, extremely bright. I asked, was it as bright as Venus? But he said it was bigger. It was different. It had a almost like a whitish center, and as it came out, it radiated out. So it had this soft glow around the edges, which is about right for a bright pinpoint object. So if anybody saw anything similar, we'd like to talk to you, like as soon as possible.
All right. So what do we got going on next here?
Well, let's see what else we got there in the news. Because technically it's the news. I just didn't play the little thing, Let's see. We had old Valet over there with Ryan when he came out. And
Ryan Sprague had Jacques Vallée.
Yeah, Ryan had Jacques Vallée on his
home run of an interview there.
Oh heck yeah, that's an amazing interview, and he did a good job. He let him talk, which is what you do when someone that's what we did with Mike. Remember, and he was just so happy about that. And
and we had Mike Cleland on. Our interview with him was more of a lecture. It was a guided lecture where we were able to interject questions here and there, and then he would continue. He'd respond and continue, and it was really refreshing. He even told us for him, because generally everybody's just bam, 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 and he was really happy to be on the show because we let him actually tell the story.
Oh yeah, it was great. So
if you haven't listened to the Mike Cleland episode, highly recommend go back and watch Mike Cleland's episode.
It's a good episode. So yeah, that was really cool. He actually had Valet on. Valet basically says that he was somewhere in California at some event, a large event with prominent people. I believe
the Soul event.
Is that where it was at?
Yeah, he was at the Soul event. He didn't name the event, but this was the Soul event.
He didn't say where he was or who he was with. He just said that they were allegedly, I guess they were conducting a like a CE5 type kind of protocol out there. Though he said, in his way, he was talking to some parapsychologists and wondering about the possibility of this, initiating contact, etc. So apparently he tried it. It didn't work at the time. And then later that evening, he has a spontaneous out-of-body experience, found himself standing, in the room with another being. And apparently there's a conversation. He did not go into that. He talks like he's going to put that in something for us soon, right. Or, when he figures it out. Yeah. When he figures it out, because it kind of scrambled him a little bit. You can tell how kind of confused he is. And I really liked his approach, because he said, he didn't want to say too much because he didn't want to lead people into thinking what something is. That's brilliant.
And he also used terminology that I appreciated when he said that he was still recovering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this can have serious psychological impacts on you.
That's right. Absolutely. And it's really interesting when someone of his caliber has one of these type experiences. But what's interesting is to me is, he literally described out-of-body sensation perfectly. And then he said, he was kind of freaked out, and that's what put him back in his body, which is basically a snapback, as you've heard us talk about before, to become aware. But it's very interesting to me because he had this after that, that event. It makes me wonder, did Jacques open the door? Is he going to have more experiences? If you follow the data.
I don't see Jacques being the type of person to let this go.
Yeah.
I mean, going back all the way to his work with Passport.
Yeah.
And he explored the ideas of interdimensionality and the ancient teachings and various studies, and he's looked into all this. He knows all this information,
Yeah.
And he knows very well that he experienced something that he cannot explain, and that is, as a person who tries to take the most scientific approaches to things, a very unsettling, very frustrating thing, because you can't currently apply too many types of scientific rigor to some of these, what we call spiritual or metaphysical or interdimensional functionalities. Those people, though, however, the theoretical physicists who do look into these things, they're not opening up science texts. They're not flipping through pages of peer-reviewed papers when they start doing their research into these strange phenomena. They go back into the ancient traditions. They go into the ancient mystical works. And that's where they start their journey, because they're starting to try to look at some of this stuff, understand the words, pull it all together and make it make sense under the current understanding of what we call reality or our physics.
Right.
One day, Ron and I here soon are going to sit down and we are going to really pull everything out of our brains and put it out there, because we try not to get super heavy into topics, just because it can get suddenly
muddy.
It goes from being a very interesting topic to being extremely muddy and extremely hard to understand for someone who has not dedicated literally decades plus of their life to certain types of research. And it can but when you bring together aspects of the out of body experiences and the remote viewing experiences, and pull those together with the ancient teachings and of mysticism and religion and spirituality, you start to see this thing where they begin to intertwine, and one actually answers the other quite often.
True.
And it's a
hard conversation to have. That's what it is.
Yes, it really is. It's a very difficult conversation to have. And it's a conversation that it doesn't happen in a live environment.
No.
Because it has to be curated and controlled and kept in a vein. Where here, we do one of these, where Jacques Vallée took John Keel to ask, because Keel thought he'd invented many ideas that French ufology had been discussing since 1954 during the French UFO wave. And that's true. He did pull him aside. They had at a bar, I believe, and had this conversation. So, yeah, it's very, like I said, we're going to have that conversation. We're going to go that way. We're going to lay it all out, because there's, Miss Trackway, that's exactly right. It's hard to follow Ron and Joe with all the shenanigans in the chat.
But it's okay, because this is yours, and the live has always been like that. We throw out the important stuff. If it's really important, you'll know it, and you see the way we do it. We make, we'll joke about it and throw it out. We let you know there's an asteroid coming, and we did it in such a way that we didn't freak you out. If the government should watch us and learn from our techniques, because it works. People, they need some sense of humor, even in the darkest of times. That is just how it works. Right, Lou?
Exactly.
Lou says,
yeah, Ron, that's exactly how it works.
See, that's right. See? Thanks for joining us, Lou. Anyway.
But,
if the Men in Black can join us, Lou Elizondo surely can, right?
Oh, yeah. And don't you guys think that for 1 minute I haven't sent requests out.
Oh, yeah. There's requests pending on a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So, but those will be more for the podcast. Just to let you guys know, probably.
Enzo says, "Oh, the government is watching you. All right, that they were there for a hot minute.
They were. They don't care anymore.
Yeah. They will, we'll get a nod occasionally. Like, I'll go and I'll look and I'll watch metrics and see where they're at. But we had our entire catalog downloaded by Washington, D.C. over the period of a couple weeks. And it was hundreds and hundreds of hours that they had to sit and cycle through. But yeah, it was, that was pretty funny.
Unless it was training AI.
Right. Yeah. It could have
because it
been
was in that
Trans-Am.
time period.
That's true. That was right at the real beginning of that.
Yep.
Says, I think Ron and Joe just zapped our primate brains. And
No.
and we'd try our best. I try so hard not to do that, and Ron tries hard not to do that because we want to try to keep it as informative and conversational as possible. But like, if we want to get heavy, we can get heavy. We can set and we can have with the lights turned down conversation where it's like that, old man smoking a pipe giving you these information, and we're gonna do it. It's gonna happen because it has to. This is coming, and if you've been paying attention to anything we've been saying, you've kind of got an idea of where this is going to look or where this is going to go and what it's kind of going to look like.
There's a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of stuff, not just motherships, but there's a lot of stuff coming. Speaking of which, we are sitting at 6 out of 10 guys on those blessing unlocks over there. So we have 2 hours to get there, and I think we're going to do it. I'm just letting you all know. For the folks who are just joining us for the first time, please hit the like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Get it out to your friends. Make sure that they understand, asteroids and AI threats and, Lou Elizondo building bunkers in Wyoming, things like that. Things that are very important.
Not just him. Apparently, old Mark Zuckerberg's doing the same thing.
I don't blame him. Wouldn't you? I mean, if we had that kind of money, would you not? You know what? That's what we need to do. We need to take all the funds that we've been given,
and we can
instead of buying equipment
there in a big giant missile silo commune.
God, yes, let's do it. Let's make Wild and Weird. Yes, Wild and Weird compound out in the middle of the freaking desert somewhere. That's great. I like it. It's awesome. I'm sure we could find some bikers.
We got to. We can do this.
That's what's going to happen. Remember that whole reality conjuring thing?
Yep.
What's that?
Manipulation of reality.
Right.
I wrote about it many moons ago, and it was actually printed in a book.
That's what we'll do, and then we can have, special times for the folks who donated so much, right? So they like the executive producer level kind of thing, right?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do a special live where we let them in on that recording.
What recording? What are you talking about?
No, those really heavy, deep episodes.
Oh, you're talking about letting them come in and sit in the corner and listen to us?
Yeah, as it's being recorded.
Yeah.
That would be something we could do for some of the more, because this would be an episode. It is very, like I said, curated, directed, produced, and released.
I think we can only have 10 people.
You guys would be able to be there in the moment and listen to it of it.
JB sure.
In the desert of West Virginia.
The snow desert of West Virginia.
Yeah, we kind of look like Hoth right now.
Yeah. I thought my Tauntaun was going to freeze
JB,
to death
thanks
this
for
morning.
joining us, by the way.
Look here.
I've not missed you here in the past.
Look here.
New to me, though.
Now we're only 3 away, thanks to Gary Schuler out there.
Gary, what's going on, brother? Good to see you out there tonight. Thanks for jumping in with us. And
Moth bless.
Much media that I have to scroll through now just to get back to these. I need to go curate the list a little. Thanks, Gary. You're awesome. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, good stuff right there.
You could probably get a defunct coal mine for cheap, and you want to know you can't, because
I don't know that I want one.
They are so stinking expensive. The problem is too, if you buy the land, you then have all the EPA stuff that you have to abide by and have done to the land before you can do anything with it. Kenny, thank you, brother. Put us over the top. We appreciate you. Ron has made another new special release for you guys.
We have 2 more to go to unlock it, so keep going.
I thought Kenny was the last one.
Nope. We're sitting at 8 right now.
Sitting at 8? Okay.
Sitting at 8. Sitting at 8.
I thought it was you. I thought. I've got non-starred over in the super chats.
they can see it up there in the chat on the bar over on YouTube. So it actually has a little target up there that shows it.
Now I can keep track over here. It's over in the starred side, and I'm seeing 9. So we're
it's showing me 8. So I don't know, guys. That's on YouTube Live, so maybe they're behind.
It might not have been turned on before the first one came in.
Maybe that's possible, but I don't. Oh, there's 9 though.
Just said, here we go.
There's 9 right there.
Play that beautiful 3D footage, Joe. Here we go.
Yeah, it's long. It took a few hours to do, but you're worth it. So,
and you guys couldn't tell, but Ron actually animated each and every one of you guys into that field, and your faces are there, but you just got to zoom in really, really close to see them.
Totally.
Scott Holbrook, thanks, brother. We appreciate you, Scott. Thanks, man. You're awesome, and we love you.
Now, you know what's funny is that could happen at some point. So, you might want to pay really close attention to some of those things. I mean, we've already put Adam in a cube, for example.
Right.
These things happen. So be prepared. That's all I'm saying. So you guys, I don't know if you saw the news, but Point Pleasant made the news. Did you see that?
Yeah. Are we talking about the same news, Ron?
I don't know. I saw that the data revealed that, visitations for Point surged in 2024. Did you see that?
I thought we were talking about the man that drug a dead deer by the front door of his car through 2 counties at 60 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone on the ice in the wrong lane was what you're talking about. No,
that's not what I'm talking about, Joe. I'm talking about something that actually is a good thing. Apparently people wanted to come to Point Pleasant, and they wanted to do so in such mass numbers that the level of visitation increased from 2023 to from 244,957 visitors. That's a lot of people. There's a lot of people coming to Point Pleasant, and that's just the people who they know about, right?
Right. Those aren't the people that come just to meet Zorp and Cargon.
I mean, I think that there's several factors there that contributed to that incredible number, and one of them is probably that guy down there. What's his name? I can't think of his name. He has a museum.
Jeff Wamsley.
That would be the man.
That name sounds familiar.
I believe Jeff Wamsley. Yeah, that would be him. Yeah, I think that a lot of that has to do with Jeff Wamsley. And I know he would never say it in a million years, but the amount of work and the amount of dedication to that town itself, it's phenomenal. So hats off, Jeffrey. I think you did a good job.
JB says Point could use a new hotel, just a few in Gallipolis. Point could use a new hotel.
Hopefully but
we'll have a fully functional new hotel that will be able to support a yearly annual gathering of weirdos.
It's going to take a lot more unlock screens, though, just to let y'all know.
Right. Dances with Orb says agreed, or another campground.
Excuse me. Oh, man.
Linda's right. Jeff needs to be the mayor.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to be, guys. I think he's just happy being Jeff. And he's like playing Monopoly in real life.
He really is.
He's got Park Place right now.
Yep.
I love it.
You guys are
I love
awesome.
it.
Thank you guys. Everybody. Thanks for coming out to Point Pleasant and hanging out,
Oh
especially
yeah,
come down and hang out with us at the tent and spend some time and get involved in all the antics with us and all that. Speaking of gatherings, we do have
gathering.
one coming up in May.
There's a gathering coming up, from what I
There
understand.
is Ohio Bigfoot
Yep,
Conference is to
that's
be
that's what do they call it? OB something. What is it? That's it. OBC.
OBC, and you never know who or what you're going to find there.
Oh God, you don't even want to know sometimes. I'm not even
Right?
ask anyone
But,
who was there last year, and you'll understand this.
yep, yep. It's a good time.
It is a good time.
It's a blast. It is usually our first event of the year, so we can't wait to kick that off and get out there and see some of y'all's faces out in the road again.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a few things coming up. Hopefully, we'll be able to get you a date on the Wild and Weird gathering here as well.
Yes.
Very, 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 very shortly. Checking the calendars, and I'll have you a date very soon, and you will know on here. That's where we'll announce it, and then you can start making your plans to be here. We'll see what's going on with it. We may have to change, as far as it goes, the topic and whatnot. At this point, we don't know, but if we do, we do, and if we don't, it'll be what
It's
it
going to
is.
be funny in a way. We'll all get together. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about high strangeness and things, and
We're going to look at the sky if we can, and we're going to probably pull out.
We're doing something.
We'll probably have the Madness on display, and at least,
Oh, yeah.
and let you take a look through it.
Absolutely.
That system, and maybe, just maybe, and you probably will see something.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's just a given. I don't even question it anymore. How about you?
Last night.
Last night.
Yeah, last night I had one on thermal.
Yeah.
I went outside for just a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Snagged the thermal and looked up, and sure enough, wham! It's like almost as immediately as soon as I looked up in the sky, I was panning around left, right, and then one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy when you really think about the fact that it's almost like as soon as you look up, you see it. And we've actually caught that and documented it. And they're going to be able to see that soon, which is really freaking cool because, man, we're going to have so much. I just wish we could talk about it all, but we can't for another couple of months. But when we can talk about it, things are going to change. And that's yeah. And that's what's setting us up here for, the rest of where we're going as far as it goes, because where we're going, we don't need no roads where we're going.
That's right. Dances with Orbs. Yes. I did not figure anything out, but we are looking at that. We're going to, I sent it to Ron.
I can't tell what that is. I'll be 100% with you.
It's not a glare. That's the one thing we do know.
No.
We know it's not a glare or a reflection because it, the way it reacts with the power lines.
Yeah, it goes behind that power line, I'm pretty sure. If it doesn't, then there's something I can't quite make out just yet, but it looks to me like it goes behind the power line. Yeah.
But as soon as we got a little bit more time to sit with it and play with it, we will put it out there. If you're cool with it, we'll put it up here and let everybody see it.
Because we accidentally found some stuff on our own stuff this week. And still trying to figure that one out too. Hopefully you'll see that soon.
Is it a given that you'll see something strange in the sky if I'm there?
It doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem to matter. We have had another individual that felt as though he was a paranormal.
Oh boy!
Opposite magnet, a paranormal repeller, so to speak, and had more years than Ron and I and probably you combined researching the phenomena, and he got to see something. So. Yeah. Is a good chance.
Yeah, it's a good chance. There's a real good chance. And especially
it might not be like, but it would be very much got another thermal target.
Right.
Where's this one going?
Right. It's probably not going to be one of those, the golden ones are coming events, but but then again, it could be. I don't know anymore. And I'm not going to say. We don't know where we're going.
Right. So, let's see. We're hitting the halfway mark.
Yep. So I think now's a good time that we call out those folks who make this show possible for everyone, first of all, um, because the audio portion will be ending here very shortly. Um, however, again, everybody stay on here. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to cut this up and use some of this for our audio for the actual podcast for those folks who are out there listening rather than watching. And for you folks who are out there listening and watching, get over here and watch. I mean, you get to see some stuff.
Yeah.
You get to see some stuff. I can promise you that. And you get to ask some questions, right? I mean, that's the really cool thing about Wild Weird Radio Live. You actually get that interaction, and that's something we always wanted to do from the very beginning. So let's go there because that's kind of a segue into it. All right. I've got some pictures here. So y'all want to see them. This is how it all started. Joe, you want to tell some stories about this as we go through some of these shots?
Sure. Yeah, I can narrate.
Okay. We have to. Okay. So we wanted to do a podcast forever. Yeah. Literally wanted to do a podcast. And we didn't know how to do a podcast. I'll just tell you right out. We didn't know how to do a podcast.
Back then, it was new.
Nobody would tell us how to do a podcast because that's the wonderful thing about this community. They seem to want to help you, but when it comes down to it, they look at you as a threat sometimes. And I don't know why, because no one is, because none of us are going to be doing anything by ourselves. We said this from day one. I'll say it till we end this whole thing. We're only going to find the answers when we work together. That's it. That is the bottom line. It. Always support us. We support you. That's how it works. All of you know that. I think Jimmy's fully aware of that. Tommy's fully aware of that. Yep. The rest of you guys who have your own pages and that we support, and the same thing. Support us. We support you. Give and take. Yeah. But when we got started, it wasn't like that.
No. When we got started, we were pushed away very hard by a lot of people. Once they found out that we were not just fans, so to speak. Yeah. When they found out that we were researchers, it was cool. They want to interview you. But when they found out that, we're researchers, but we're also multifaceted and we can make stuff. Then all of a sudden the gears changed and it was a really different world.
Because we started
at the cold shoulder.
Yeah. Well, we started actually, selling the stuff, right. And, to fund everything, the art and whatnot. And, we actually had people who tried to steal the name. Yeah. I mean, that's how it got, guys, for you who don't know. So when you hear us today, you may hear us sometimes say things and they're like, oh, well, they're just stuck up or they don't want to help anyone. No, that's not it. We helped and we got taken advantage of a few times. Yeah. So we don't do that no more. And the other part is we take care of our group. We take care of you. We take care of the people who have supported us again. And how we do that is we try to keep you in a safe zone. Like here, for example, you ever notice that there's not a whole lot of trolls? There's not a whole lot of drama. Same thing with the group.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of trolls. Right. We did that for that very purpose. But the point being, we managed somehow, and I don't know how to this day, to take this concept of just basically the paranormal, talking about all these things, and making it somehow entertaining.
Yeah.
Relatable. Entertaining. Yeah. And at the very beginning, I remember we were trying to figure out topics, and one of the things I would do is I would just look around at my library and be like, oh, that book, that one there, that's about this. Okay, that's cool. And then, the Time Life Mysteries of the Unknown, that whole series. I think we did literally every episode, an episode based on every one of those books.
Had an episode or two on it. And then while you were doing that, I was going through the Bigfoot community.
Yeah.
And finding niche topics, finding reports, finding different encounters that weren't just Bigfoot related, but UFO related, and pulling things out, and then pulling things that were kind of on the fringe, even for the paranormal people to bring in and talk about.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But now
And
today it's not so fringe.
no, it's not. The tides have turned, and you still don't get a lot of people talking about that, but the tides have definitely turned at this point. But yeah, it all started. This was our original stuff back there.
Yo,
That was us.
that was at OBC.
Yep, that's
Um,
exactly where it was.
or no, that was in October, so that would have been Creature Weekend.
Oh,
But
Creature Weekend. Creature Weekend. Yeah. That was
yep,
a
that's
fun
still
event.
South Fork, and that's Ron,
Yeah.
Wayne Barnes, the one and only, and of course me. And we met Wayne in that basement, and he heckled me harder than anybody. And we somehow created, like, I knew in my mind at that point, I was like, me and this guy are going to leave here best friends, or we are going to kill each other. It's one of the two. And sure enough, Ron and I wound up leaving with some concrete that's still out in our garden from Wayne.
Yeah.
And, and then a lifelong friendship, because his life way before ours. So
concrete Bigfoots.
It lasted the whole rest of his life.
Yeah,
and, and we love him, we miss him, and we wouldn't be here doing exactly what we're doing had we not all three come together at the time that we did and been in the situation that we were in.
Yep, that's the truth. And we
that.
What's that?
There's a me and you sitting on a couch with a green screen.
Yep, we did that. That's where it really started.
Yeah.
It started with those little update things we did on Facebook, and then was like, yeah, let's do a podcast. And let's see, here's this, I believe, episode 71. I believe that was the only video episode that he was in ever.
Yes.
He wanted us to do video so bad. He wanted us to. We didn't even. We were using. What was it we were using then? Do you remember? Was that?
They were little webcams. I got us all the same brand of webcam.
What was the program we were using at the time? It was
Skype.
Skype, yeah, that was Skype. And that's what we kind of started on, and then we moved from there. But yeah, it was. That's the only episode I think that he was actually on video. And then we did the redesign of the logo, which was actually happening before, which is weird. The rebranding had already started at that point, and we got the old radio because Maria found the radio at a
antique
store, and she said, "You got it. This is what you guys need. You need this old radio." And she tells me about, we need to do this and do that, and I'm like, "There's no way I can do that." And I talked to you about it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, well, here's what we got to do. We just got to get a screen and put a screen in it." I'm like, "Oh, well, okay then. Guess I'll do that." So I made.
It's still the same apparatus that's inside of it. It's a band of elastic.
That's what holds it all together. It's literally a movie prop. Yeah.
It's so great. And it works. There's a strap of EVA foam that keeps it level, and then a piece of elastic across the back. But then when it like you said, it's a movie prop.
It's a movie prop.
And
it really is.
Home and
yeah.
There were some paint marks and scuffs and things like that were old. And we wanted to keep a lot of that distressing. And I went through and completely refinished it and made it look new but old. And now it travels around with us on the road everywhere we go. And it's what we keep our Wayne haunts it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But what really got me was, I designed this thing in 3D, and I made it move. And if you're watching the old the intros, you'll see it moving back in the background and whatnot, right? Yeah. Well, actually, I think we have this one back there where you see the dial moving, all that stuff, right? And the lights flashing. Well, that was before I ever figured out, we were going to have to make this thing do this stuff too. So, the dial still doesn't do that, but it does light up. It does flash. It does have all the little, not yet, but it will.
What we have to do to make that a thing.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. But, it basically it's ended up being a whole lot more work for me because I had to 3D modeled this thing as a concept to show you and Wayne, as I recall correctly. And it got the blessing because I'm like, they'll never accept this. So I showed it to you and you're like, oh yeah, this is amazing. And then we have to make this. God bless.
Yep.
And yeah, we did. We made it. And that was the birth of the new birth of the radio. And after that, of course, you know what happened. We lost Wayne,
Yeah.
and the radio almost went off the air completely.
Yeah. We had a long, hard think about it, and we had to really come to grips with the fact that, you know, he was here with us. It was part of us, but is this something that he would want us to quit because he wasn't there?
No, he would kill us.
Yeah.
That was the consensus at that point. And you know what was really funny is, you know, we knew who we wanted to come in at that point. We wanted to get Jesse to come in.
Yeah.
Because
she had already come on and guest spotted a few shows with us at that point.
Yep, she was helping us, and you know,
Wayne brought her in.
Yes, he did, and you know, she was helping us out with that, and then you know, eventually she joined the cast and became that third, and it worked out really, really well. And there's been some other little things we've done over the years. That was our third year little thing we did there. It was kind of fun. I remember that one. That was look at that. Do you see what that says? 45 audio programs.
Yep.
45.
45, and God, now where's it at? And
190 something. Yeah. I think it's 198, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's 83 right there. Disclosure. That's the disclosure and religion thing. Y'all need to go back and listen to some of those. All these make a lot more sense right now.
Yeah. Back then they were something else. That we thought we were pushing the bullet too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that things were going to blow back on us. And now here we are.
And this
a different environment.
This is literally where this started. This is when we were getting people to share their stories and their accounts, and you know that turned into In Focus eventually. It was Tales of the Wild and Weird, I think, was originally the name that we had for it.
Tales of the Wild and Weird was going to be our witness.
Yeah.
Our witness, where we read off witness descriptions, and
And there is the 50,000 mark when we hit it. That was a pretty big deal. There's Jess. She's over there in the corner. That was that incarnation when we decided to keep going and to kick the doors and really lay into it. And after that, it just went nuts at that point. You know, everything else, you know, the rest of the story. I mean, you can see us pretty much anywhere at this point now, I guess.
LR says, I remember listening to the shows with Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah. He always brought up some very interesting counterpoints.
He did.
And they were good. I mean, they were really good counterpoints. It's the same thing Jesse did. Jesse did the same exact thing. She would bring up those counterpoints. And, you know, what was neat about Wayne was he got to the point to where, you know, he was a skeptic about a lot of stuff. And then, you know, in the end, he was to the point of, well, there's more to this, you know, because he was following the data. It's the same thing. All good researchers do, you know. And it's just it's been a crazy trip. That's what I can say about it. And I honestly, I never thought 100,000 episodes. I really never thought we would get there.
Yeah, 100,000 downloads. And realistically,
downloads. Yeah,
we would have been there probably 6 months ago, but we posted all the recorded sessions so we could film Paranormal Horizons.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, it was really weird because we were just saying, trust us, we're doing something. We can't talk about it yet. And then the trailer released, and we were able to kind of open up about why we had quit doing the pre-recorded episodes. And now we're back at a place where we can get some
a little more leisurely. We think we have a plan, right?
A loose plan. which is
plan.
how it always starts.
Yeah, it's a loose plan, and because there's going to be other things that are coming too, and boy, there's some really freaking big things that you can plan on seeing in 2026. Now, I don't mean UFO invasions or like Chris Bledsoe thinks, like that. I'm talking about there's some really big things coming, and you're going to enjoy it if you've liked what you've seen us do so far here and on Paranormal Horizons. You're really going to like what's coming.
So Larry says, "Oh, great! My dog Braxy is growling at an empty corner."
It's not empty, Larry. It's not empty. If you've been paying attention, it's not empty.
This is funny. I know it wasn't directed at us. I'm going to read it anyway. It says, "My mom drove me to the town 7 miles away so I could attend the confirmation classes at a Lutheran church. Our car had that AM radio, and it picked up Art Bell, which seemed blasphemous. But yet, look where you're sitting now. And look what you do every time."
That's just too funny.
Oh, man.
So
my mom was cool with Art Bell, but we didn't tell the minister.
So how many of you folks, have been with us from that, from the beginning? Who saw episode 1 out of all of you? Is there anyone here that remembers episode 1?
With us who was with us when it began, not that you've gone back and listened from episode 1.
Right.
We'll ask that question next, but who here has been since episode 1?
Episode 1.
If there is anybody listening.
Does anyone remember the name of episode 1? And do not use Google.
Oh, man.
For the longest time, episode 1 was one of the most listened to episodes. Like for years, it was one of the most listened to episodes.
Yep, it was the highest rated until the first one with Stan Gordon.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
and then Stan Gordon held it for a year, and then Jeff Byers came in and destroyed everybody's realities.
That was a show you couldn't be on.
I know. I missed
you
that
were,
show, and I'm so upset that I missed that show. And it was our number 1 rated show, and that's what Wayne always kept saying. It was the best show we had because you weren't here.
He did, yeah. And Jeff did so good on that show.
He did an amazing job. We need to get Jeff back.
That was a good show. It was a really good show. If you guys haven't listened to that, go back and have a listen.
Trackway says Glenn Adkins is who recommended us to them.
You can't trust him. Don't you listen to anything that man ever tell you. No, I'm kidding. Glenn's an incredible individual. I'm still trying to figure out Glenn, because Glenn's like this guy who sits and tells you Bigfoot ran through the yard. Here's a DNA sample. And then he'll say, Bigfoot ran through the yard, but there was a ghost over there. It's the funniest thing to hear this guy try to rationalize these things. And, he's the one who really did. He has the subject A-B thing down. Let's just put it that way. He is more definitely rooted in A, but he will not deny that there is something else out there.
Oh yeah. Anita says, I think I saw you guys once, but Wayne wasn't there. It was just you two. That would have been, I believe, probably at the first Withville UFO.
Oh yeah.
So I think that was probably the first time we met was with UFO.
Yeah, Withville was a fun one.
Yeah.
There was a lot put on the table at that show.
Yep.
And there was a lot going into that show where the news just kept changing for that presentation.
Oh no, that was the second one.
It was terrible. The first one was fun.
Yeah. The second one was the one that was like, and now this, and now this, and now this.
And yeah. Making last minute changes. Yeah. That was great.
L.R. Miller said, I found you guys searching for West Virginia Bigfoot and on the greatest podcast player ever, Google Podcasts. Yeah, I miss Google Podcasts.
Well, we don't really know how it all happened, basically, other than we all seem to end up here and we're still trying to figure out why. But if for no other reason, then it's just to, create this group of people who have this open mind, who can look at these subjects and talk about them without fighting about them, which is just the strangest thing when you really think about it in the grand scheme of podcasts and webcasts and anything to do with social media. I've always said it. Our group is absolutely an anomaly unto its own. And it's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd like to see more of that out there. We actually, from day one said discourse is what we're going to be doing here. You don't have to agree with everything someone says, but be
Right.
civil and discuss it. I don't care if you think Bluebeam's real, wonderful. I don't care. Now listen to why I think it's not. Okay, cool. You don't have to agree with that. But nothing that you say is going to change it unless you got me
Right.
some hard facts. You got some hard data. I'll look at that.
Right.
And then we'll pivot from there, because that's one of the things we do.
pivot anytime we're showed data
Oh,
to
yeah.
the contrary.
Absolutely.
But generally, we have our opinions made based off of data that we've gathered. So when we're presented with data to the contrary, all of a sudden you've got 2 points of data that are clashing. It's not just ideas clashing, it's 2 points of data clashing. And you've got to come up and figure out, why is data set A and data set B not congruent?
Yeah. What we got there? It takes
a person to get to that point. A and B. I mean, you learn something biological isn't supposed to be there, and then B shows its face and confuses. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. Been demonstrated now at this point, I think.
Beth says, y'all found me, and thanks for that. It changed my life. I do remember finding you. You posted your audio up on one of the West Virginia Bigfoot pages, and I, along with any other researcher on the East Coast, I believe, reached out to you.
Yep.
And I'm the only one, I believe, that came and said, hey, look, here's what we do. If you don't want us to come, we won't. But, you can trust us, basically.
Yeah.
And then when we found out that we were both veterans, all of a sudden it was like, there we go. Okay, we've got a commonality here. We're family. We will come down there. We'll work with you. We'll work together, and we will sort this stuff out. And now look at where we're at with Beth and Wanberry and everything going on there. It's
absolutely.
Speaking of, how'd the holler fare during the transition from flood season to ice season, part 2?
Well, the holler had a river running through it from what I saw.
It did. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oz says, Anita, it burns me that I have no local friends to explore this stuff with. My online friends have kept me grounded. We wish we could get up there to hang out with you. And one day, by God, we're going to figure it out.
One day.
Because you've got some absolutely redonkulous stuff going on, and you've captured some of the coolest things that we've seen, and we would love to be able to come partake and have some fun with you.
Yeah, there's definitely some places of interest that you will see more of soon.
Oh yeah. Beth said it's a transition to no one can mess around up there at all unless they have an aircraft or boots.
Wow.
So as that road got probably down in the creek now. Tony says, I first stumbled across you guys at Mothman Festival.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a lot of people's first run with us.
That was the exposure. Yeah. Yeah. Because what was interesting about that, is that a lot of folks in those, the early days after we finally got our foot in the door, when Mothman picked us up, we were everywhere at that point. And, those first years were nuts. There were some huge lists of shows those first couple of years.
Oh man, because we were doing the reptile shows and the
Yeah.
cryptid shows at the same time, there was 1 year where we did 48 shows in a year.
It was nuts. It was absolutely
Yeah.
nuts.
Linda said, "You guys gave me the courage to come forward. Thank you. Well, I'm glad that we were able to help be a conduit for that." And I remember the first time we met you was at OBC, our first OBC, and that we were vending at, and you were there.
Yep.
You had a recorder with you, and you were coming around recording people's testimonies of their encounters, and I told you mine, and then you and Ron started talking for like an hour. And it went Mothman.
Yep. There's a lot of these people we've met. It's just like, in the strange coincidence and circumstances around it all, you know, the whole thing with Stan, you know, the way that all played out. There's so many things that happened, and that just led us to where we are right now. And you know, you can follow the data, you can do whatever you want, but I honestly believe, and this is my own belief, so it's neither right nor wrong, it's just my belief, that we are where we're supposed to be. That's what I think.
You and I, and I don't believe that I've shared this on the radio yet. But you and I were talking a few weeks ago, and I told you that what I truly think is we're going to wind up doing. When we showed up and we were in Bigfoot. We were coming from two different angles. We were looking at the phenomena. We were taking UFO reports and different things like that as well at this time. But the research we were known for at the time was Bigfoot research.
That's right.
You know, because that was the first documented field research that we had done and put out there publicly. So everybody is all Bigfoot heavy, and we were making waves out in the Bigfoot community. We suddenly showed up out of nowhere, and within a 2.5 year time frame, we went from being somebody that no one knew to being Bigfoot researchers of the year.
Weird.
We're now, we have gone full bore into, because the Bigfoot research, and I love the Bigfoot topic. I have not lost my interest in the Bigfoot topic, but there is nothing more for us to find at this point until this DNA study comes out. I'm sorry. Everybody can have experiences. I love that the people are having experiences. I love that people are sending reports in, and we will investigate those reports. But we're not finding anything new. This DNA thing is really like a dam at the moment, and it is holding a ton of information back. And until that dam opens up, there's nothing that's going to be new or novel. This research study it all hinges there, because it can, depending on the outcome of this research that is being conducted at North Carolina State, that is going to be the pivot for people. It is going to either say the DNA is unknown, or the DNA is not there, or the DNA is bear and pigs and all this other stuff.
Right.
And if it is, there is no DNA other than just normal animals,
where do we go?
Or if there is unknown non-human DNA, non-primate DNA, where do we go?
Yeah.
So we're at this position where something's got to give there. There's nothing more that we can contribute other than plaster casts. We can keep doing those things, and that's fun. I love doing that.
It's a neat collection.
Fun. Yeah, you just add to the collection. So
it'll never be enough for the skeptics. You know this as well as I do, right?
Exactly. And that's where I'm at with this. So I truly feel that we have made a pivot in our research methodologies, very much thanks to what we were able to do with Paranormal Horizons and what happened.
Yeah.
With during the filming.
Yeah.
that we're now going to do to the UFO community what we did in the Bigfoot community. We stood in the middle in the Bigfoot community, and we created a space where the people that were being ridiculed for purely believing in flesh and blood, and the people who were being ridiculed for believing in mind speak and possibilities of paranormal instances, we created a space where they could actually come together and talk and find out, well, there is something weird going on. And then that began to spread, because suddenly we basically came in and we put a stop to the fight. We were able to do what so few have been able to do in one room, because everybody will come together and they'll have this rah, 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 but then all of a sudden you've got two people who stand up and they're the voice of reason. They're coming at it with scientific data, which is what everybody's like, oh, Bigfoot science.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll give it scientific data. There's something going on and we have proof of it. We don't know what it is, but we have proof that it's there. And it's happening at the same places these people are experiencing Bigfoot, and we can't explain why. And when we started doing that and we started showing people, all of a sudden the fight turned into...
Wait, I had something similar like that, but I'm not going to tell anybody, but I'll tell you guys.
Bingo. But then they started becoming public with it and talking about it and being open with other people who were previously where they were fighting with, and now they're friends because they realized that, wait, we can all be searching for something different in the same place at the same time and coexist as a community and as researchers, and we can go do the thing. And you know, I can be looking for Bigfoot and you can be an extra set of eyes helping me, and you can go looking for paranormal weird stuff and I can be an extra sensor there helping you.
Yep.
And that we facilitated that. And now in the UFO community, I truly think that we are going to be able to come in to this community at large, which is so divisive, so full of vitriol and poison. And we're going to be able to bring a salve and say, hey guys, you're right. And guess what? You're probably right too. And we're going to sit and talk about this, and we're going to present the data, because I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what you feel about the topic. I don't care about what you believe about the topic. Here is the data. We need to look at the data, be led by the data, and go where it's telling us to go. And I'm sorry to tell you, but currently it looks like the data is saying you're both right.
And
so
wrong.
Stop freaking fighting.
And wrong.
Yeah, and wrong.
You're right and wrong.
Right, and you're both wrong.
That's what the data says. And
that's true. That's true.
It's really strange. And that's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is everybody wants to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong. But when you're looking at this particular formula, this issue that we have, then we do see the possibility that there is rights and wrongs, and both sides are both. And that is confusing. That's very confusing, because you have the side that wants this to be, again, a material construct. This is all material. This is physical, this and that. There's no room for this other crazy stuff. I'm sorry, for you guys to actually sit there and use the woo term, you guys who have a literal high strangeness factor attributed to your study, for you to use that word.
It boggled my mind when I heard that on the show one time.
What
the
are
woo
you
factor? I'm like, man, they've got Bigfootitis.
Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? Do you not understand that this is part of this phenomena? You people who are acting today, there are people who are reacting to this news of these, these guys who are having these psychic events and allegedly, calling these things in. Is that right? The whole thing. Yeah. There are people who are laughing at these people saying, this is just giving ufology a black eye. I don't believe any of this. I don't believe anyone who says they saw something. They're all full of crap. I mean, I just need the data. Well, guess what? Here's the data. Some of those people have literally been documented being hooked up to machines proving that they were in the state that they were in, their mind was in, while they were calling these things in, summon them, whatever, inviting them for tea, call it what you want. Don't really matter. The point is, it's been documented. And then there they are. Poof. Not once, not twice, not 3, not 4 times, but literally consistently. We can even demonstrate that ourselves and have. So when you look at that kind of data and you replicate that data, well, guess what, guys? That's the scientific approach right there.
Yeah.
You just replicated it from somewhere else.
Yep.
You replicated it. Therefore, you're still going to sit there and argue it and say, this is woo. This is stuff that doesn't exist because what? You don't want it to? Here's the sad fact. We don't understand our own minds. That's the sad fact. We've had how many million years of evolution, and this is what we are? Do you really think that's all we are? I'm not trying to philosophize here. I'm just telling you, I think there's a little more to us than that.
Yeah, agreed. Chris Stewart said, I found you guys looking for a Bigfoot podcast, and then you found me at Walmart. Yep. That is what happened. Yep. I remember walking through the aisle that day, and you said, Joe Purdue? And I went, yeah, because I was on the phone, and he heard me talking. He heard my voice and recognized it from the podcast. So, and that was really fun. I remember, by the way, everybody, was it today or yesterday your birthday, Chris? Either way, happy birthday, brother. Julie Bug said, hello, Ron and Joe. Sorry I'm late. Have a migraine. Hey, that was me earlier today. I took, I don't know if you might have prescription stuff. I don't anymore. I quit taking it and made my body do weird crap. But the
he can't talk to the aliens if he takes that medicine.
Yeah, Advil migraine is banging. It's like the only liquid gel migraine medication out there, and it is awesome.
I'm gonna talk to the aliens right now.
Linda says time to get the CE5 together. Oh, yeah, mine's upstairs charging.
There we go. Still,
yeah, Julie Bug, hope you feel better.
Still,
I know how debilitating migraines are. It's rough. This weather's not doing us any favors.
Well, it just proves I have a brain. That's all. Anyway,
there's waves.
There's waves. I'm alive, everybody. It just said I was alive. Anyway, so yeah, that's the whole point. It's a mission.
It is. It's a mission, and it's a tough one. And but I think we're stepping into the UFO community and finding it in the same condition that we found the Bigfoot community when we stepped in. And, we didn't have the media presence back then that we do now. And we were just doing it person to person and showing up at all these cryptid events, all these Bigfoot shows, and bridging the gap for people. Now we've got a media presence where people can go out and see us, and there's a little bit more, I guess, a gravitas, but we're still just goofy, and we're able to just kind of bridge that gap and say and show people in a way that's not offensive and not going to hurt their feelings, but be like, here it is, guys.
Well, I mean, yeah, here's again data, right? Yeah. I mean, one of the stories that we were talking about before was, at one of the events there last year, we had these people come up and they tried to get me to say that Bigfoot was an extra dimensional being. Yeah. And then they tried to get me to say Bigfoot. Oh, so you're saying it's an alien. I'm like, I never used any of those words. Not once, but they can't think in shades of gray. That's the thing.
And those same people came up during the Q&A at one point and was asking me about well, couldn't a cosmic event have set off your detectors? And I said, yes, it absolutely would have. And it would have also turned off everything else if we'd have been picking up that kind of a cosmic event.
Yeah, it boggles the mind. It really does, because, I think one of the things that I've learned most about Paranormal Horizons, like doing it and reading the comments, which are just priceless. My favorite one was the person who called me Dumbledork.
Oh God. Right.
I told you that I would make this famous and make you famous, and I'm not going to renege on my promise. That was absolutely hilarious. You made my night. I was having a very, very bad day that day. I'm not even kidding. And I read that, and to me, when it's a personal attack, I don't care. We only get kind of out there when you go after one of our witnesses and start, being kind of snide about that. But that was pretty good. Dumbledore. I really like that. So I'm actually going to make me a shirt, Professor Dumbledore, and I'm going to put your name under it because you get full credit. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That was brilliant.
Have the little hyphen.
I think so.
Their name.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be awesome.
It's got to be a caricature of Ron dressed as Dumbledore.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be beautiful.
A loose hanging fake beard.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It'll be awesome. I promise. Because that's the kind of stuff that I have a little book. You see, when I get things like that, I learned this from Jimmy Buffett. See, anytime somebody gives me a really good idea, I write down my little book. And then instead of making it into a song, I make it into a graphic or something else, a t-shirt, etc. And, one day I'll get my Margaritaville. Someone's going to hit. Someone's going to just go nuts, and it's going to be that one, And then we're going to build that bunker out in the middle of, the desert, right? That's how it's going to happen because of people like you. So everyone, be good to your trolls.
Yeah,
they can be valuable.
Yep, literally, like Ron said, the only people can be critical of us all day long, and or what we're doing, and it's not going to really phase us in the slightest. But you start messing with our witnesses or making claims and statements about them, and it's off color. You're gonna get the horns, and Nadi will be sorry about it.
I'm just gonna say this: if you know something. Okay. If you sit there and say, this can't be this because of this, then show me this, show me your data, just show me your data and we'll have this conversation. But if you can't show me your data, and if it's just in here and it's based on nothing more than belief systems, if that's all it is, if you sit there and say that you believe in psychic phenomena, but Linda can't be empathic, I got news for you. You don't know what psychic phenomena is.
Right.
Okay. Because that is psychic phenomena. And it's not measurable. Actually, it is. There's a lot of research on that. You need to go look at it.
Published papers, peer-reviewed papers.
Lots.
And not to mention all of the government-funded, scientific, documented, now declassified 1,700 pages.
Well, there's probably more coming. And, this is the whole thing about this whole psi thing that's going on right now, Joe. We're actually getting to see that can of worms open up. And then people like this are just going to be like, it's not real. It's not real. This is not happening. This is not happening. Remember the X-Files episode where the guy saw the little alien, he was smoking, and he kept saying that over and over again. It's not happening. It's not happening. It was their attempt to do like a screen memory kind of thing. That's what it's going to be. Y'all going to be sitting there and you're going to be sitting there going, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. And you're going to keep doing that because that's all that you can do. Well, guess what? The phenomena don't care if you don't accept it. It happens. It is. It has been, and it probably will be. There's nothing you can do about it.
Terry says it's taken most of my adult life to get past the teaching that there are things you're not supposed to talk about or question.
Exactly.
A lot of people struggle with that, man.
A lot of people struggle with that.
To figure that out.
Yeah. Or they try to put it into a category that's comfortable.
Oz in the Woods said so weird. Dumbledore's army.
Yes, you are.
Dumbledore's army. Oh,
that's right.
Ellie, I hope you're listening to this.
Only if we need to be. Okay. Only if we need to be. You
stay wild and weird, but never go full wild and weird. Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
That's a good movie too. That movie could get made today. There'd be so many lawsuits.
That means we get shirts that say that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Expect a shirt in the future. You know, it'll be one of Dumbledore's army or something like that. You'll see it. It'll be cool. Trust me.
I started doodling a Team Big Rock t-shirt.
Nah, we're going to do that Moon Tequila one. That's going to be the good one.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be one.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, man. You guys are something else. So we've got some stuff coming up here. Like Ron said, we're going to be announcing the get-together soon for you guys. We're working on that.
Well, what do you want? Let's put it that way. This show's always been you. So what do you want? I'll give you some ideas that are on the dartboard at this point. And you've already heard us. If you've been watching the show, you already know we're going back to Wineberry. I mean, that's one thing. You already said, yeah, do that.
Yeah. What kind of research stuff would you like to see us go do?
That's it right there. What other type of research would you like to see us do?
We're already working on one Lights in the Sky episode.
Oh yeah.
That's already in the works. And we've got a Wineberry. We're obviously going back to Wineberry. But what's something else? Flaming Coconut, that could easily be drafted from the Team Big Rock shirt into Flaming Coconut easily. So yeah, that could be a thing. Workshop at Wineberry.
Maybe one day.
It's too hard. You can't get that many cars there.
Yeah. And right now, there's too many things happening, and it's a kind of controlled zone, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
And not just that, like it's with all the flood, like in case some of you guys don't know, there was a big flood here in southern West Virginia, and Beth did get caught in the crossfire. And she's here hanging out with us. She could tell you there was some pretty gnarly flooding in Wineberry. Everything from the pond that you've seen us show down was basically full of water.
There's a river. So,
yeah, there was a river running down that gravel road.
Yeah, the road was a river. So, almost got swept away.
Beth tried to jump in the water. Dingus.
Chasing orbs, no doubt. Chasing orbs.
Yeah, she was. That's what she was doing. And God love her. And luckily,
I've told y'all.
Luckily, she didn't get pinned underneath the camper.
Yeah.
So it was some pretty vicious water.
It was.
And she's not the only one that was affected. I know some people who passed away in the flood down in Welch. It was pretty bad. So Wineberry is really, unless you have 4-wheel drive, it's going to be really difficult to get to even in the foreseeable future. So we will be able to get out there, but like Ron said, it is kind of a control area at this point. It's just.
Well, let's just say there's reasons they don't let people on Skinwalker Ranch.
Right.
And it ain't just because they're making the show. That's part of it, but there's reasons.
Oz says, I really want to find a way to get you a full spectrum Sony A7S III camera with a night sky appropriate wide angle lens. That's only a $4,000 wish, but it would capture everything. Hang on to your pants.
You just never know, Oz.
You never know what's going to happen here in the very near future.
You guys are, let's just say you guys are good. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to happen, it will. So you just never know what's going to happen. But I can tell you, we squirrel away every one of those little pennies that you give us, and you build things and you buy things with that. And
it's true.
We will always be grateful for the stuff that you allow us to buy with that money.
Lisa brings up another good point here too. We still need to get up there to her area.
Oh, yeah, we will. We will.
So that can be one of the things.
Yeah, that can be one of the things.
Yeah.
There's a certain person I need to interview anyway. So
right.
Works out good.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. But yeah, we can get anywhere in New England is fair game. I'd love to get up to New England. It's been ages since I've been up there. Dover, Delaware was my last trip to New England. That was back in the Air Force days. I was at Dover Air Force Base.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
For training, it was a some kind of new mod, if I'm remembering right. That was they were changing out from a it was an upgrade that upgraded the C-130H models,
Mm-hmm.
and it was stuff that the J models had,
Mm-hmm.
and we were kind of retrofitting it and trying to figure out, and they had come up with a way to do it, so they had a handful of us that were still running H models go up and work on that for a couple weeks.
Yeah. So again, a lot of things are coming, and things over here as well, but there will be episodes and you'll get to actually see episodes. There'll be multiple things, multiple different episodes. Actually, you'll have the Wild and Weird Radio, but there'll be something else, and you're going to be interested in the something else, probably.
I think so.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. Same here.
I hope those numbers go up with that something else.
I've got my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because that would be tremendous. Oh man.
Oh, look at that. That's so nice.
Yeah, if I had money, you'd have your dream equipment.
See right here? That's okay. That's the thought that counts, Anita. That right there. You are our emotional Bigelow. And we'll take that emotional support from our emotional Bigelow. Thank you.
We will indeed. Because it's you guys just being there to support us, kind of hang out and help, even if it's not even in any kind of financial way at all. Just kind of being there to watch the stuff, share the stuff, talk to people about it. That goes just as far, Well,
for sure.
And it helps because you guys bring in other people to come watch the stuff, and the more people that watch the stuff, the more that, just plain and simple, the more people that watch it, the more ad revenue that's generated, and the ad share is beneficial.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's how it works over here at YouTube. That's why we tell you, to make sure that you take the time to leave a comment, in under some of the videos. That takes the algorithm, it sees that and pushes it out to more people. So
and really honestly, the only reason I'm even talking about this is because right now we've got our 37 to 40 core people who's here with us every single week.
Yep.
And you guys know that we don't sit and talk housekeeping very frequently, but it's let's all visualize it. Let's see if it manifests.
Now, the last time y'all did that, we got orbs. Okay.
Right.
So, but no, you're onto something there, Trackway. You are definitely onto something. And I think that's a key element to anyone who tries to do something. Okay. Yeah. If you can't visualize it, it's not going to happen. So, you can sit around and have your moments of doubt, but you've got to have that initial push as to, I'm going to do this and it's going to work. People are going to like it. As long as you can do that and like the product that you're doing yourself, it'll be successful. And that's kind of how we ended up here. I knew we could do it. I just didn't know that it would be so well received. Let's put it that way. I had really no idea it would be that well received. I remember on certain episodes, I look at Joe and say, well, we just lost half the audience.
Yeah.
And I really believed that we would, but then they would surprise me because we would go up, 10, 20. And of course, then we would fall down, but then we go back up. It's the up and down yo-yo.
It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah. So, it's still pretty, it's pretty amazing to watch. It really is.
And what you guys pull off every single week, the way you guys show up, hang out, we really appreciate it. And, all the folks that listen over on the audio side, if this, you're not going to hear this part unless you come over to the video. We started this with you, and we're going to be making more audio content, recorded, curated stuff. We're going to keep doing the lives, obviously, because this is how we get together with you. But we're going to be doing some more experiments and recording those and releasing them right here.
Yep, something bigger.
Yep.
Something way bigger and way weirder.
Yep. Because we won't have to. We won't have any. Not that we have any constraints now.
We have no constraints. Yeah,
but
there won't be any time limits. There won't be any. We don't have to worry,
right?
Because our algorithm's a little different, and it's geared for the strange and the weird and the incredible people that we have here, for example, which is great.
Kenny says, walk where your mind takes you, and that's why I go off trail. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Beth says, y'all do things others are afraid to do, and that's what makes you special.
I don't know if they're afraid to do it. I mean, I think that some
might want to, they just can't.
They can't. Yeah, there are things in the way, and sometimes there's physical limitations, and sometimes there's mental limitations, right? And by mental limitations,
pigeonholed.
Huh?
I said sometimes you just get pigeonholed, and you
right.
You don't have a choice but to keep doing what you're doing because that's what works.
That's what works. Yeah, exactly. And who would? I mean, if something's working, do you think I'm going to go out and start chasing UFOs if this is working? No, I'm not. This is where it pays, the bill, so to speak. But the difference with us is we are interested in this phenomena, truly interested in this phenomena. We are not making a book. We are not making a documentary. We are not milking people for ideas to go out and make money off of it. We are truly interested in what is happening out there and documenting that and leaving that record for someone else to pick up at some point in the future, because it's probably going to help them. Like all of this, just like, some of the past research is now helping us. It's the same thing. We're all adding to this. We're putting our hieroglyphs on the wall. That's what we're doing. And then the next person will put theirs on top of that.
Larry says we shall make it bigger and better. Wild and weird for 100 years. Wild and weird forever.
That's
Ron
it.
And Joe. Ron and Joe and Larry and Scott and Beth, Trackway and Anita Allen. All of us, 1,000 years forever are always never ending. Always forever.
Sounds more like a cult, Larry.
You're right.
Yeah. But no, seriously, the research should drive you. And if anything else is driving you other than research, there's something that's off, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I'm not saying, I'm a filmmaker, and because look, I know some really awesome filmmakers who aren't really researchers, or they don't think themselves as researchers, but in a way they are. But they have a what's the word? Kind of like a passion to do this, right? Yep. Because they've experienced something, they've seen something, they don't know what it is, but they feel that they're involved in this storytelling process, and that there's a driving force behind it. It's the same thing that we've been doing. It's the same thing that authors do. It's why they write books. It's the calling of the scribe, so to speak, I guess, right? It's like, that's what you do. Huh?
Tell the story.
Tell the story. Tell the story, inspire the others to tell their story. And I can tell you it works, because we saw that when we started telling, our accounts. We got other people, we hear, this happened to me. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. It's about making that connection, helping those people out there, the witnesses who've had these strange things happen to them, to understand, look, you're not alone. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. This is normal. It's a part of what you are and what we are that's just not talked about. Now, it's talked about by this guy and this guy and this guy, and then all of a sudden, this guy over here stands up and said, well, that happened to me too.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen, if it wasn't real, you would not get that. Because I can tell you right now, no one is going to come forward with these stories unless they were real, or at least they were perceived in their mind as being real.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, if there's multiple perceptions of this one thing across such a great number of people, well, we have a phenomena, don't we?
Right. Because that means that there's some kind of a collective consciousness, if nothing else.
Exactly. And that is why we do it, because that's the mission. The mission is to normalize the paranormal. We've said it from day one. That's, if you go back and read the webpage, it says our mission right there, to normalize the paranormal, or help normalize the paranormal, because we are the ambassadors of the paranormal, right? That's the title that we gave ourselves. We didn't do that for pomp. We did that for practicality.
Yeah. People would
Sums
ask,
it up.
what do you do? Well, we're the ambassadors of the paranormal. We're here to make the strange and unusual make a little bit more sense, and to give other thought that's guided by data.
Mhm.
You know, belief systems are just that. And it doesn't dismiss that something's happening if it is viewed through a belief system. It can just skew the perception.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
when we're able to present it and look at it purely at just the bones, just the raw data, then we can start to really compile a good educated guess and see where that's leading. And you guys are going to get to go on that journey even farther with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be great. Clearly, because it is going to come down to data. And that's where we're going with this. There's going to be a lot of data, and that data is going to be out there, and you're going to be able to pick it apart, argue about it. I don't care. Do what you want, but you can't deny it. It's there.
Beth's heading to bed. Good night, Beth. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon.
See ya. Don't chase orbs.
But yeah. There's a lot of crazy things coming down the pike. So,
oh, there absolutely is. You know, and I think you know, one of the big things is that you know, we do have tremendous amounts of data here. It's not just anecdotal stories.
No, the majority of it is just data.
Yeah.
We have far more data than we do stories at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And now we have other data sets from people that we've met along the way.
Yeah.
That adds into it. And it's just this massive amount of, look, here it is. We always said, you know, putting the data on the table. Well, the data is on the table. And now it's time to start arranging it to make this picture. And we've actually started making that picture at this point. And will we see the face of the phenomena? I don't know. But I can tell you there is an image that is forming at this point. Where it goes, I can't say.
On the hand.
I can't say.
So
I can't say. But I can tell you that there's a phenomena there. And if anyone wants to argue about that, give it about 3-4 months and come talk to us after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Give it time. You'll see.
Give it time.
It will make sense. So much things we can't talk about. But until then,
a good stew takes a long time to make, right, Joe?
It really does. It's got to set and it's got to stew and simmer.
It's like gumbo.
Just like gumbo. Speaking of gumbo, I've got 2 pounds of crawfish shells in my freezer.
Well, you hold it because, you know, once that final episode is in the can,
we'll do it.
Celebration time.
Absolutely. Guys, this show is made free thanks to our executive producers, Adam Good, L.W. Marshall, Larry Hose, Eyes in the Woods, John Smirker, Richard Minnick, Luke McCombs, Gary Schuler, Teresa's Hunt History of the Tri-State, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, Lisa, a.k.a. Dancing with Orbs, Seth Lamille, Kenny Hess, Small Town Monsters, James Nelson, and then our amazing super chatters, Octopus, with at least a few friends, Dewey the Deucer Edwards, NW Hall, Uvaru 235, Spooky Appalachia, Lady Wolf, LR, Guitar Chains Craig, Travis Urednick, Jeffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Bigfoot, Littlefoot, Terry Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Donna Ho, Angie Breeden, Jen Clower, Jamie Snell, Ike the Fob Daddy Fobber, Ashley Hilt of On Wednesdays We Talk Weird, Lotus Flower, Asher's Creation, Wendy the Pooh Bear, Spirit Brothers Paranormal UK, and Pat Noble, Kim Drescher, Paul Sherman, Rick Skinner.
There you
There's
go.
our last one. Thanks, guys.
Woo,
Thanks,
that's getting long.
One of y'all. You guys are fantastic. We couldn't do it without you. Remember, if you have ever had an experience that you've never shared and you want to, reach out to us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. We're going to need Dumbledore shirts by OBC so we can all find each other.
All right, kids. Okay, just for 1 second, I'm going to interrupt you, Joe. How many of you guys really want that shirt? For real. I'm not even joking.
There's probably going to be at least 6 or 8 that'll buy it.
Oh, God.
I guarantee it.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they bought the Orb shirt. That's true.
Plus, there will be Harry Potter fans that just randomly roll up on that shop or on that shirt in the shop and be like, "Oh, this is hilarious! I'm getting it."
If we do it, it's going to be just like the other one. It'll be a limited one-time release only, and that's how we do these. So they're kind of collectible in a way, just like the Orb shirt. That's only going to appear one time. You guys who missed it, sorry.
I got a picture of it live in person.
Yeah, that's it.
Larry Hose wore it down to the house a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't even have one. So if that tells you anything, I don't even have one. So yeah, if you want one, just let me know. I'm going to do that. For also, I have started making jewelry again, just to let you know. We have some of our special stuff that you'll be seeing on the tables soon.
And I've been making bracelets as well.
And so I might do something. I might do something for that very first meeting. We might do a drawing for something very special, very one of a kind. So we'll see if that happens. But yes, oh God, yeah, it looks like everybody says yeah, okay, well, okay then. I guess we're gonna have to have that shirt. Awesome.
There you go.
Great.
So, guys, if you've had a sighting and you want to send it over to us, wildandweirdwv@gmail.com, or you can go to wildandweirdwv.com and go to report a sighting. Fill out the sighting report, and you can tell us there. If you want to come on the show for an interview one day, you can reach out to us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com and just title your header "Show Interview." Linda Sigmund says, "A great show, guys. Love, 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 love. Joe needs an Orbs of the Ring t-shirt." Oh man, you guys are something else. If you want to catch us on the road, the first confirmed sighting of us will be at OBC on May the 2nd. We're going to be there all weekend, so come hang out. We'll have a good time. Mark Winnell just popped in there.
What?
How you doing, brother? Good seeing you. Hope you're faring well down there. If you guys haven't, go check out Copperhead Striking on Facebook. That is Mark's Facebook page. He has been doing a series of live presentations where he goes over Native American history and spirit.
They are fantastic.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about that. They are absolutely fantastic. Again, go watch them.
Copperhead Striking. That's his name over there on Facebook. And it's every Monday. He does them every Monday evening. So then we've got, let's see, first confirmed sighting May 2nd, going to be us at OBC. And then we will be, there's a couple other shows that haven't announced dates that I know we're going to be at, so I can't tell you about them yet.
There's that thing in Nitro as well.
That's right.
Because
we'll be in March.
Yeah, we'll be speaking and part of a panel, I believe, is what I understand. So for you guys who are around here local, Nitro, we'll get you the dates and whatnot and put them up here because that's coming up. But that'll be a fun one because we're going to probably present some of our data at that.
Yep.
At least
And
have it
then
on
there's
hand.
a possibility. I did reach out to the director of that symposium. That'll be at Eastern University here in West Virginia.
Okay.
And so we're going to see where that goes. And that one is also in March.
Mm-hmm. My
My
TNT
TNT
workshop
hangs up with pride in my man cave. Nice.
Mine is in the I still have it in the shadow box, and what's going to happen, you guys don't know this because me and Joe have been talking about it, but I'm going to get rid of the green screen here eventually and fix this mess behind me, and I'm going to have some stuff on display back there, and that's where that shirt's going to be hanging. It's still in the box with all your signatures on it, and it's a treasure is what it is. But there'll be another one of those shirts this year, a very special new version of that shirt. So get ready to get one of those too as we get closer to that date. We do know that that's going to be what we say October, somewhere around October, I think.
Yeah. LR Miller says Nitro. Yeah, they haven't made like a big announcement push for it yet, I don't believe, but yeah.
Oh, it's out there. It's out there. It's they put it out, I think, last week. I can't remember the times.
I haven't seen it.
I'll put it over on our page. But yeah, it's in Nitro. It's in the city park area there. It's a little area that they're doing.
This is a fact, Tony. I do need that shirt. One orb to rule them all, one orb to find them, one orb to bring them all in the darkness bind them.
No, you don't. You don't need that shirt.
No, I need that shirt.
Oh, God.
You guys are fantastic. I hope you all have a great weekend. Enjoy a reprieve from the cold that is
coming. What I'm doing this weekend, right?
Yeah, go be hitting up Fallouts and that new chapter, man.
Fortnite and Fallout, actually. Fallout has Fajnot right now.
Yeah.
They have the Bigfoot mask.
Yeah, I figured that's where you will be more into other than...
Oh, no. No, I just let that run. I'm AFK in that thing. I mean, there's just two. Okay, so what? Let me quick. I just want to get a real quick beef first of all about this, and we'll leave. But Fallout 76, I like the game. I know I'm one of the weird ones that like it, but the Fajnot event for the past several years started having some really cool masks. However, the drop rate of this is lower than an asteroid hitting the Earth. Okay, no, it really is. It's 1.2% chance. That's what it is of getting one of the rare masks. For the first time in the game's history, Joe, Bigfoot is sort of in the game. It's a mask. There are two versions. There's a normal version, and there is a glowing version. The glowing version has red glowing eyes. Yes, you heard me correct.
Yeah.
I want that mask.
Right, of course.
Okay, yeah. But it's almost impossible to get, thanks to Bethesda, who thinks that it's okay to put in masks from year freaking one that people have been selling in their vendors for 10 caps for years now, or just giving away to new players like I do, because I had 1 million. But, I digress. More importantly, yes, Chapter 6, Season 2, Fortnite starts tomorrow, and I cannot say that I have something to live for.
This is your first big release for Fortnite you've been around for.
Well, I got hooked on Fortnite. I'm sorry. I really...
It's a fun game, man.
After the updates, yeah, because I hadn't played it since the OG and, the original game back in the day. And when we got our PlayStation, I'm like, it's got Fortnite. I'll look at it. Holy crap. This is amazing. And I'm just addicted at this point. That's all I can say about it. So it's sad, but
it's good times and there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
So if you guys are wanting to hang out with us, I'm Skinwalker 13 on Fortnite. Ron is what is
MRX 3010. Yeah. 3010. Yeah.
So look us up, jump in with us. We will make a giant team and go out there and go to war in the island and wreak absolute havoc and pandemonium.
Yeah, so, we actually talked about maybe at some point, streaming one of those things.
Actually doing a live stream here because we have the capabilities to do that. And I can just log in from my computer because I suck at keyboard playing. But many moons ago, I bought this so I could play on my PC.
There you go. There you go.
And yeah,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's begun.
Fortnite I've been playing for years. Look me up, Sir Serious Not. Okay, definitely.
All right. So you guys who are wanting to, squad up,
I
just
started playing in 2020.
send over some, send over some screen names, and we'll put you in there.
Yep.
We'll look for you.
All right, guys. Good times. Remember, come hang out with us in Fortnite land. Look us up. We're gonna have some fun with it. And
you'll know us when you see us.
Remember, always look behind you, especially in the dark rooms, or when you're going up the stairs in the dark, or down the stairs in the dark, and check the toilet. Just cause.
No. You look behind yourself on the stairs, you're gonna fall and break your neck. What's wrong with you? That's terrible advice.
The way that you're going to be able to see the thing that's chasing you into the nether realms that is awaiting you upstairs, no matter what situation